Hello everybody. So today we're going to make our hatchling rack out of 4x8 PVC sheet. So I went to Home Depot, picked up 2 sheets, 4x8, ½ inch, $72 a piece. I did do a couple racks of melamine. They're really heavy, and then they're not water resistant. I've done 1 rack so far with PVC sheets, and it's far superior, lighter, waterproof. So that's what I'm going with from now on. They'll all be PVC sheets. Usually I do put belly heat in. With this being a hatching rack, I'm going to try to keep it as simple and easy as I can, since the rack's not going to be used all the time. So I'm going to just do back heat on this piece. So I'm going to throw this on a time lapse as me and my daughter make some cuts and put our sheets together and screw everything together and make a rack for you guys. I'll do a little bit of voiceover at times during the video and explain what we're doing. Alright. So we made 2 sides. There's 4 there, but I only needed 2. And I got 12 shelves there, which should be enough in order to make a rack high enough to have 10 for the time being. That'll give me 10 high for 20 bins. So we're going to go through, cut a couple more of these down to 11 inch, which will give me some more shelves in order to hopefully build the whole rack and have 42 bins in there in the long run. Alright, so the plan is to turn this into the snake room. So this will be a little small 12 by 10-ish, about, maybe 12 by 8. Right here, in between these 2 stacks, is where I'm going to build that baby rack. These are Freedom Breeder fb5. It's in there, a little bit of room in there, but once I get that size into it, it won't be as much room, and it'll be closed in from the back. So what I did, I went through and cut these so that when it's closed to the back, I have a little bit of handle here I can grab and pull from the shelf. So it's going to sit in there, close by like that, pull it in. So each one of these shelves are 11 inches wide, like 18 3/8 deep. So when they're set up, just help it close against the back. We have just a little bit of this handle sticking out that you can grab and pull it out. So pull it out, get your snake, fill your water, close it back up, push it in, and the heat will be on the back side. So we're going to put a little bit of time lapse as we build this. The construction is going to go from the bottom up, or from the top down, I'm sorry, from the top down. I'm going to put the top on, flip it over, and I'm going to show you guys from that point what we're going to do. Alright, so what we're going to do here now This is the top. Work from the top to the bottom. Got 1.25" drywall screws, number 6s. That way they don't have to be pre-drilled. So what you do, we use CDs, lay them down. Those are going to be spacers in there. Take your tubs, put your tubs in. Now it gives you your space between the top of the shelf and your tub. So when you pull those out, they'll flip in and out really nice and easy. Then we're going to take our next shelf, set it in there. Do not want to push down on it. You're going to leave it. Just home pressure. And I put 3 screws in it. And then what I like to do, I'll take a level, since I know that I'm in on those 2. I put in the center of the screw, That's gonna make a little indentation there. And now I can put my screw in there. Alright. There it is. Very important to keep your drill nice and level when doing this. Not the end of the world. If you do end up missing, you can take a little bit of white caulk and just fill that in if you're concerned about it. We'll come to this side and do the exact same thing. Probably 2 screws probably enough, but I like to make sure that's got plenty. Okay, so now you test that fit. Pull your boxes out. That's a little tight, but take our spacers out. Slide in. That one's a little tight. And that one's perfect. That one's just a hair tight. But it'll be alright. Okay. And then we'll just go up to the next step. Do the exact same thing all over again. Alright, so now we're going to work on the back tape. I kind of got, you see the probe wire there, just kind of getting a rough estimate of where it's going to go. But it's tape. I'm going to mount 2 strips on it. One here and one over here. I'll link them together, they run off one thermostat. The probe will go in here. So I'll end up attaching a probe here like this so we get a decent temperature reading and see what we get. So in order to connect this tape, I had to make an extra piece here. So I'm going to attach these couple wires across. They're 2 different kind. I don't think it's going to matter. But we'll connect these and then I'll run off of this one and connect to this one and make it a U up and down, and we'll connect it to the thermostat from that point on. Basically just take your solder iron, heat the plastic after the plastic coating over this, heat it up here, a little solder, a little bit of solder there, and we'll put the wire, solder it down, and I'll put electrical tape over that, and then do the same thing to this one, and that'll make it connective in that one. So I'll switch back as soon as I get that done. Alright, as you just seen, I went through and soldered some leads up. These will go to my thermostat, which I'm running STC1000. This is what was running on my incubator and worked really good. It's not a pulsing thermostat like I like to use, but for a hatching rack, something that these snakes hopefully are going to be in for only 2 months. And then the rack's gonna be empty and maybe around 4 months a year, maybe. I'm not 100% concerned about it. I do like to run the vivariums 200s, which are a pulsing. I do have a 100, which is just on off, and it does a good job. It's kind of in my overgrow rack, I guess you could say, my grow out rack. So, not really a grow out rack yet because I don't have other racks, but you get the idea. So that one and that one are for my main, and when I do end up getting a full blown rack, that's what I'll be running as pulsing. I do have a couple more of the STC 100s, which, like I said, is on my incubator here, and it runs pretty good. Keeps a pretty consistent temp. I will end up making another one of these and taking my melamine rack, and this will become a quarantine rack for time being, and I'll put it in another part of the room. This will get a door up here, ski ball will come out. As you see, baby rack here. I have backs that's going to go on it after I get the tape on, and then we'll close it off over here. Put a Freedom Breeder rack up here for males on this wall. This wall end up doing females. Maybe another female rack here, and then a larger incubator here down the road would be the plan. If I end up growing this room, I'll just end up putting a wall up here and just heat this whole area and turn this whole area into a snake room. So right now I'm just going to end up attaching the tape, put it back on hyperlapse, and I'll come back after that. So that's the heat tape on the back. And all I'm going to do is end up attaching. Now if you did want to find your shelves, like you could put a staple right here in there into the back of your shelf. You just got to make sure that you don't put a staple into the black or the gold. I left the sides open here on both sides so I can take my board and end up attaching my board, which is a little bit bigger than my shelf, which I kind of did on purpose. I'm going to end up trimming that in and caulking it so they'll be all sealed up around the sides. But that'll basically be it. I won't show wiring up to the thermostat, which is going to go up over the top there, because everybody's thermostat's a little different. So there's no real sense in doing that and showing you guys how to wire that one up. It comes with instructions. It's pretty simple. So you got your probe that plugs in here, your power source from your wall. There's a diagram, power source from the wall here. You got a diagram here, power supply. This will heat and cool, so that you'll turn on cooling also. A lot of people use this one for birds. So it's $28 on Amazon, and if it's good enough for $15,000-$20,000 birds, it'll be good enough for my hatchling rack. At least until whenever, if I end up doing feeder breeder racks down the road or whatever, which I don't think I'll do a hatchling rack like that. I don't think it's worth it. But a regular feeder breeder rack for males and females would definitely be. So I'll kind of do one quick little snip of once it's up and running and put that at the end. Alright, well, there it is, all hooked up. It is heating right now. I did screw up. And I bought the Celsius model, which isn't a big deal. 32.3 degrees is what I'm looking for. It'll do what it needs to do. If it bothers me enough, I'll change it out to a Fahrenheit model down the road. But just as long as I know what it's supposed to be at, that's all that matters. So there's 20 of our tubs. I need 22 more tubs. As you can see, there's a heat tape all the way down. We'll see in an hour what we got for temperature, but I don't see it having any issue. I can already feel it getting a little warmer back there when I stick my hand back there. I am like 71 degrees at the front of the tub and about 73 degrees in the back of the tub, so it is slowly heating up. So we'll give it time and see what it does. Thanks for watching, and like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell.